Hey, say, welcome to the longer podcast. And what we're doing today is moving on from FMQ 517, how to be successful. And that was a muse, wasn't it? It was a seed, as it were, on thinking about not just having the positive mindset or the right mindset to achieve what you want. It was about the body set, whatever that is. And that's what we're going to go. And how the mind and the body is totally connected. And when they're not connected, how things tend to go a little bit out of kilter. And where our goals or the things we want, our desires, our dreams, tend to, go off the mark. We aim at slightly the wrong place. And aiming off the wrong place means we go all over the place. And that gives us all sorts of things, even limiting negative beliefs of, I'm a failure, I shouldn't be here, I knew I couldn't do it. But the thing is, this is where we're going to change. So what are we going to do? I want you to think of goals, but goals are basically everything that you do. Everything you do in the day is a goal, isn't it? I'm going to go here. It's a goal of going there. I'm going to go on a walk. It's a goal for that. So don't think of goals as being massive things. It's just things that we aim to do. And it could be as simple as going to the gym, going to do this, going to do that, or maybe bigger than that, a project. Maybe it's, basically doing anything important. Because if you're not doing things which are important, you're probably doing things which are urgent or unnecessary, and they're no good because they just get in the way. So I'm going to talk about important things. Because if we get the important things done in life, life gets so rich, so good. Now, when you think of the things that you want to do, you probably know your why. Because they're what you want to do. And it's that want, that desire means it's important to me. And whether you know the why in specific terms, if you do, that's really good to make sure there's not a clash in your values. But if you just get that feeling that it is important, really important, not ego driven, but it's important to you and your life, well, that's what we're going to go for. But think of some of the things that we're talking about. And I'm thinking of maybe some of the important things might be maybe going to an interview, meeting somebody for the first time, maybe having a difficult conversation. And it's really all about not just having that goal in mind, but it's how you behave. Behave mentally, behave physically. Are you aligned? Because if you're not, it's going to come across that way. And when it comes across that you're misaligned, things just don't work, do they? Now, you could model somebody else. How does somebody else do this? And that's great. Modeling is the core of NLP. It was modeled on some great hypnotists and therapists, a modeling of processes, how people behaved and changed their behavior. But I don't want you to model just anybody. I want you to model you, and a special you which is the you in the future. Yeah, you in the future. So what would that be? What would that be? Question. How would that you in the future that's successfully achieved what you wanted to achieve, and it could be in an hour's time, a month, a week, whatever, how would they be having successfully achieved that goal, that aim in mind, that ending, that thing, maybe that one interview, that special interview, meeting that one person? Maybe it's a project, or maybe it's just being social, connecting, anything you're doing. What would that future you, if you thought about it now, it's in the future, how would that future you be? Because that's where I want to go. Because when we know how our future you would act, behave, move physically, and you've got your why, the mind, things start to happen because you're aligned to the end of the goal. So that's where I'm going. And I'm also going to do it in a process here. So get ready for that. This is something a little bit new. I want to go more into processes on this podcast. So just think for a moment. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be huge. But think of something that you want to have happen, that you are a part of, you are going to do. And what we're going to do is look at that future you so you can have it with more certainty. So it becomes quicker. It's better than you could imagine. And if you could, I want you to just bring that to mind for a moment. So just bring one of those things to mind. Just one, because if we think of too many things, it just gets too general. So I'd like you to bring specifically one thing you'd like to achieve, to do. And you know it's going to happen. No point in just having a goal. There's no why there, is there? It's just a wish. And we're changing wishes into real things. So it doesn't matter if it's big, it doesn't matter if it's small. Just go through this process with me. And then, if you do a smaller thing, you can always come back. And then when you have that real big important goal, you know the process. And then you can just let yourself go into that process and come back to this episode again. But let's have a little think. Let's consciously think first, because we're going to go to the unconscious mind shortly. But let's consciously think, just for a moment. Imagine that thing. Just imagine that thing. And it's been really successful. What does that feel like? What does that feel like? Just being successful, because you've achieved it. Just to get that feeling for a moment. Because feelings are important. Because the feeling is, in effect, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard. And that feeling of the wish fulfilled really makes sure you are aligned, again, to your why. Because if you get that feeling of having already completed it, successful, but it's still not right for you, then maybe you have to tweak that goal. But now you've got the mind, I really want you to get the body in mind, if that makes sense. Because with the body, when we understand the body of the future you, with that why, that feeling of the wish fulfilled, we've got everything. And the process I'm going to do with you will even take that deeper. But first, let's just go through it consciously. Just imagine this. Sometime in the future, just after completing that thing, you've just done it. It's been great. It's been successful. You have knocked it out of the park. You've done whatever you needed to do. It's been better than you could ever imagine. Just, if you could see that future you, how would they move? How would they move? Would it be a movement that you could read confidence in? Inner confidence, a surety. Just think about that for the moment. What about that future you's facial expression? Would it be smiling? Would there be a sparkle in the eyes? Would there be, you get that look of inner confidence when you see somebody, you think, yeah, they've got it. Yeah. How would you breathe? How is that future you breathing? With that successful feeling. Sometimes there could be a little bit of excitement there. And that's attached to, again, all this movement is attached to a belief. Because you've done something. You've achieved it. You've got that wonderful positive belief about it. You got this. I've done this. What else can I do? What else can I achieve? And even all of that belief creates an energy in you. So see that future you with that energy moving around. Feels good, doesn't it? It even feels good from over here, looking at that future you. You can tend to get that sense. But I want to go deeper with this. And if it's okay with you, if there's nothing that needs your attention, let's go into that process. So remember, this is sort of hypnosis, and it's going to be with eyes closed, because that just takes away any distractions of the world outside. So you can really focus on the inside and what you want. So make sure there's nothing needing your attention. No one's going to disturb you. So if you need to pause it for a moment, find that comfortable place, that'll be awesome. But just think for a moment. Yeah, just think for a moment. And bring to mind, with your eyes open for a moment, bring to mind that thing that you'd like to have happen. It's your goal, your desire, that thing, that event that you would like a successful completion of. And just begin to imagine, as you close your eyes, take a nice gentle deep breath, and as you breathe out long and slow, you begin to just breathe normally and allowing yourself just to slip nicely into a comfortable space in your mind. Again, keeping that idea of the goal just in mind for the moment. As you breathe in a way that allows you to get more and more comfortable. And maybe just have that feeling or sense of curiosity. Allow curiosity just to bubble around. Because this is the time to learn. Learn at the conscious level and unconscious level. Now imagine as you get more and more comfortable. That's right. Bring to mind that goal again, that thing, that event that you want to have happen. And flow out into your future. Flow out into the future, into a time, 1 minute, just 1 minute after that successful completion. It's done. You've achieved it. And it was so good. Just imagine it was so much better than you could have imagined back then. But now here you've done it. You've achieved it with more than flying colours. And as you do that, feel a sense that you can see that future you down there now. Notice that future you having done it. Again, notice how they move. Notice the body in its wonderful way of walking, moving, sitting, whatever it is. Notice that air of inner confidence that just seems to be there. It's a non-verbal communication that tells the world, yeah, I've done it. I've done it. See your face. Is it smiling? Or is it keeping it inside? But you know, just by looking here, from here, you know that sense, that inner sense. Look at the eyes. Notice a little sparkle in the eyes. That's right. Can you notice your breathing? Yeah. And if that future you was to speak, having successfully gone through this wonderful event, better than you could ever dream of. Listen to the qualities of your voice, the tone, the speed, the confident way that you articulate. Maybe it's an internal voice that you just understand. And as you do this, begin to float around this future you, to see yourself over there from all different perspectives. So you may float above, in front, from the side. So you get a 360 view of you being the most successful you in this event. And consciously you can notice these physical ways of being, but unconsciously, your unconscious mind can know even more. And as you do that, just taking a lovely breath in. And as you breathe out, just imagine yourself floating into this future you. That's right. Inside this future you. What does it feel like to move this way? The flexibility, the ease. Feel your muscles. Feel your breath. How it just seems so good. Looking through your eyes, see what you'll see, how you see the world. Listen to that inner voice of yours, noticing that wonderful positive belief that you have about yourself, having done this so successfully. Yeah. And as you do this, begin to feel the feelings of it all at once. Your voice, the physical movements, the feelings, the smells, the tastes. Allow all those senses to come into one of success. And as you do that, pick any finger and that thumb and squeeze them together gently. And as you squeeze them together with this wonderful feeling, imagine one word that truly represents this goal, this dream, this event, this successful completion. And say it with your inner voice, loud and proud, as you squeeze that finger and thumb together. Because this is your anchor, the anchor so you can have this feeling whenever you choose in the now. But for the moment, just begin to feel that feeling even more. Imagine you can intensify this feeling of everything. Every bodily sensation is so wonderful. And it becomes more and more intense. Just squeeze that same finger and thumb together. Say that word, that one power word that truly represents everything about this. And then just let them go gently. Because you can remember this for the future and the now. And then say the immortal words that I love to say to myself and to my unconscious mind and to your unconscious mind. This or something better. Because you, the unconscious mind, can create an even better outcome, a more aligned outcome. So there's wonderful new opportunities will come from this, way beyond their conscious awareness. Yeah. And as you breathe gently, you can take one more wonderful in-breath. And as you let it out, you can just let go of everything and open your eyes back into the waking world, because that's where we are. We're back in the now. You were in the future, and now you're back into the real world. So look around, touch yourself in a way that you can just say, yeah, this is me. This is me in the now. I'm back. I'm back. And now, here's the thing. We've done the process. We've talked consciously and unconsciously to ourselves. We've visualized consciously and unconsciously to ourselves. We've also created that wonderful anchor. Remember that finger and thumb and that power word. We call it a power word, but it's a word that truly represents that feeling. Because I want to remind you, whenever you think of that goal, that dream, that desire, that one thing that you want to do, and it could be on a daily basis, every time you think of it, when it comes to mind, squeeze that same finger and thumb together. Fire off the anchor so you get all the feelings, all that wonderful, powerful, supportive belief that you have in yourself and everything about that, which will then interlink with the why, the mental mindset, positive mindset of all of this. So anytime you think about it, we can squeeze that finger and thumb together. And when you begin the very first step of this project, this goal, this desire, this dream, we fire that anchor off. We say that word in our mind. And that will just get us into a wonderful feeling to give us some motivation, because it reinforces the why. It gives you so much motivation, and your unconscious mind just knows you're going to get it. And so do you. And another thing, one more. When you finish and do that final step, that 1 minute just after it's finished, fire that anchor off again. So you really reinforce it, because you can use this anchor for other things too, because it feels so good. And if you just want to feel good, you say that word, squeeze that finger and thumb together. Fire off the anchor. It becomes a powerful anchor for just feeling good. And how many times can you do this process? Probably just the once. No, you can do it whenever you like. The process is simple. The process is simple, and simple just works. And this is the way I'm looking to do these podcasts now. I'm looking to sow the seed with a 5-minute quickie. So I'll get you to think of things, get things organised in your mind. So when we come to the longer podcast, boom, we can go deeper and deeper, and then create powerful results, not just general results. Because that's what a lot of things happen. There's so much stuff around. But I want to give you powerful processes. Powerful processes that you could use at any time. You just need a little bit of space, not a long time, but just a little bit of space where you'll be undisturbed. Or I'll give you things to do that will create massive change in your life. And we can be really specific and be really detailed. So I hope you like this way of working. If there's anything you would like me to do, or like a subject that you'd like to dive deeper into, or a process on, you know the thing to do. Email me, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Simple as that. Send that. You get a reply from me personally, because it's my email, and we'll create a wonderful process somewhere. Or if I don't create it, I'll know of a process, and I can remind you and your unconscious mind how to get what you want, because that's what we're here for. So look out for that. Have fun. Please do subscribe, because subscriptions are, well, that gives me the knowledge that people are really getting into this. It's my data, as it were. And also if you share it, because everyone, even if you know this stuff, knowing and doing is one thing, but most people know things, and when you ask the question, well, how often do you do it? They go, well, not so much. So this is a reminder. It reminds me to do things, and it's reminding you to do things, even the stuff we know. And if it's new, hey, you've just learned something brilliant. So please go and enjoy, share, do whatever, and have wonderful results. And if you want, you can let me know by emailing me that same email, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Email me your wonderful results. Celebrate. And then I can celebrate with you. That would be awesome. So have fun. Have more happiness than you can stand. More fun than you can stand. I love that term. Enjoy, and you go fly.
This is Personal Development Unplugged with Paul Clough.
In simplicity, there is genius.
In simplicity, there is genius.